sure look. It'll be grand.
By Jesus, it will be grand, because we're back for another episode. It's me, Owen, and Dan is here also. Sure, that was a noise that he just made. We're back. Sure, it'll be grand. An Irish podcast with Irish people talking about Irish things, except not always. But we put I don't know what I'm saying anymore, guys. Full disclosure, I'm a bit hungover, okay? I am a bit hungover for this episode. But sure, look, we'll see how it fucking goes, okay?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sure, we've been worse. We've been in worse auspices.
You guys, maybe you don't know. Maybe I'm always hungover when I make the episodes. How do you guys know?
Maybe Owen has a crippling alcohol problem.
Yeah, well, maybe I do, but I'm not going to talk about it here, okay? It's not what this episode is, guys. This is not my intervention.
That's next week's episode.
That will come. That's our season 2 finale, I think, surely.
Yeah. The intervention episode.
Yep, we got to save that for the big hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hungover. How are you, Dan?
I'm fine. I'm a bit tired, but for very less cool reasons than you. I'm in the middle of tidying my room because I got a new bookshelf in. So that's a positive. I know, very exciting here. I mean, I don't want to.
Sorry, I had to delay my response because I was burping.
Okay, Grant.
It
wasn't an indignant wake one.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's just unfortunate timing. Books are cool. Bookshelves are cool. I like bookshelves, and you can put non-book items on them.
It's a really cool one. Like, it's cheap as fuck, and it's not actually made like from solid materials. It's like a very kind of thick plastic that's pulled across bars. But like, you can put stuff on it. That's no problem. But the cool part is it's modular, so I can keep on buying more of it and just attaching it to the previous one.
Mm.
So I bought like 2 packs of it, and it's
bookshelves they're a pretty groovy invention, I think.
Yeah,
they might take off.
Might take off.
I think people buy.
I mean, no one reads these days. What are you on about?
That's true. Is there a Kindle-shaped area that you can
people
just place
still
in?
read like hell?
Yeah, I know. Everybody reads.
I hate the fact that people say, "Oh, people don't read anymore." It's like, I think people read more than they ever have, to be honest. I mean, not maybe in novel form all the time, but so fucking what?
Well, we're not reading this week, but we are doing a movie based on a novel.
Are you saying there's going to be a book club coming up? No,
that's not what I'm saying.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing book reviews. It takes entirely too much time to read a book. I mean, I can't do it every week, okay? I read pretty quickly, but entirely too much time. But the movie we're doing this week is based on a novel, and it is called The Devil Wears Prada.
Don't know why that came out.
That's the appropriate response, I think. That's the callback when somebody says The Devil Wears Prada. You say,
Ooh.
Exactly. I hope you continue that throughout the episode. The Devil Wears Prada, released in 2000.
No, it's very irritating.
I'm just going to stop saying the name of the movie if you keep doing it. It was released in 2006. Directed by David Frankel. Do we know him? Do we know what he's done other than this?
Yes, I do. This one surprised me. He directed Band of Brothers.
Two episodes of Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
And
it's
also,
weird, isn't it?
Also like eight episodes of Sex in the City.
You know what? Fair play to him. He has diversity.
Yeah. Then he did The Devil Wears Prada. It was his first like big movie production. And after The Devil Wears Prada, he did Marley and Me.
Yeah, I would say this one thing that really stuck out to me. I went on his IMDb page. His picture as a director is just him with a dog, and I respect that.
That's an old Tinder dating profile trick, actually.
Oh, he invented it.
Put a puppy in. Put a puppy in one of your photos. So they tell me. I don't know. Hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Hasn't worked for me. Anyway, so David Frankel, so he Band of Brothers, 2 episodes of that, and then he just changed course altogether and started making, I suppose, what people would call chick flicks. I suppose you would call them. The Devil Wears Prada, Sex and the City, Marley and Me. They're good movies.
Definitely
I like
like a bathrobe, towel on your head, wine in your hand, face mask, sort of movie to watch.
Yes. Yeah, that's David Frankel. That's what he wears when he directs movies as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, could you just imagine him just being the most pissed off, angry director though at the same time? while he's dressed
yeah,
like that.
I'd
Like a nice
say-
pink fluffy one.
I'd say he's the total opposite of what he makes. But you never know. I don't know. It's interesting.
He
So,
actually thought like Band of Brothers was the most relaxed time he had in his life.
yeah.
He's just sat back with, oh, this is so
Oh,
nice.
this is so easy, so much easier to do than Sex and the City.
There's no violence, no anger.
Yeah. So this movie has a cast. Yes, it does, ladies and gentlemen, as most movies do. This
Whoa.
movie, so it stars Emily Blunt, who I feel like comes up a lot on the podcast for some reason.
Yeah, I love our Emily. She's grand.
She's knocking about. You might know her from Jungle Cruise, the big movie Jungle Cruise.
I would not.
Probably
but
other.
Cool.
Probably, I'm sure she's in other things. Yeah. Anyway, Anne Hathaway is also here. First time she's been on the show, I think. I don't think we've covered any movie starring Anne Hathaway or Anne Hathaway adjacent before.
Yeah, no, see, when you say Anne Hathaway, I just think like Lord of the Rings. I know, like,
She's not in that.
I know, but you know what I mean. You know who I
You
mean.
think Liv Tyler and
Yeah,
Anne
of course I
Hathaway.
fucking do. Of course I fucking do.
I don't see it.
Oh, you don't see the big pouty lips, black hair, and sleepy fucking face half the day.
No, I don't.
You don't.
No idea what you're talking about, to be honest. That's entirely new concept that you're talking about.
So, here, by the way, I love both these actresses. They do really well what they do. I'm not slagging them for that. It's just like very similar looking
Stanley
people.
Tucci is also in this movie. We do like him.
He is.
We decided whilst watching. Well, we probably decided a while ago.
yeah.
Like Stanley Tucci. Interesting tidbit straight off the top that I learned whilst looking up stuff for this movie. Stanley Tucci is married to Emily Blunt's sister.
Okay, I shouldn't judge. No, I won't judge. Fair play to him.
Yeah, I don't know if they met via this movie or something, but Felicity Blunt, Emily's sister,
Yeah.
married to Stanley Tucci for a few years, so
Huh.
they know
For
each
some
other.
reason, he's a lot older in my head. But again, that's not a bad thing either.
I mean, it might be Emily Blunt's older sister. We don't know. I don't know
You
anything
have
about this
to
woman.
think how much older
Yeah.
can your sibling be, that kind of thing.
You never know. Yeah, so there's that one. Another trivia thing that was listed on IMDb for some reason is that Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway are best friends. Also,
You know what? When we finally get an IMDb page for the podcast and all that stuff, we'll put down for our fact.
that's our fun fact. Trivia about Sure It'll Be Grand, the movie. Owen and Dan
Hey,
are
we
actually-
might do story things in here. Who knows? We have
Contrary.
creative ideas.
contrary to the
podcast.
relationship on air, they're actually friends. Yeah, and the last, there's another actress
Before
in
the
here.
Jordan feud in 2024.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I know. I'm
Yeah.
not looking forward to that one.
No, it's going to be rough. There's another actress in here. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Meryl Streep?
Is she Indian? Is it?
Meryl? Meryl Streep. Is that her? Is that her name?
I don't know. I think she's an up and comer.
I think she's pretty good. I think she could make it. I think there's probably
Yeah.
a bright future ahead of this Meryl
Yeah.
Streep actress. She's a good actress. And also, more importantly, TV's Aquaman.
Oh, Entourage man. Yay.
Adrian Grenier or Grenier.
I
however he
hope he's
pronounces it.
okay.
I'm sure he's fine. I think David Frankel
I don't know what
actually
he's doing these days.
probably not much. I think David Frankel did some work on Entourage as well. That's probably how he got cast. But yeah, he's here.
All right.
Entourage guy. He's also here. We'll talk about him later as a
Hey,
as a
look,
thing.
it looks like he's still doing well because he's in a TV miniseries called Clickbait, which sounds like real high end top
that's-
stuff, right?
Woo. Yeah, that's the peak. That's a HBO
Hey,
silver screen wonder, I'd imagine.
he was also in a movie that's still to come out. It's a TV movie, so you know it's going to be good because everyone has to see it. Called Cypher.
Oh, he's really.
That sounds quality, doesn't it? Straight away.
Yeah, he's really getting into this cyber stuff, isn't he? What a guy.
Yeah.
Adrian Grenier, he's here. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, this is based on a novel of the same name by Lauren Weisberger, which came out in 2003 and was top of the fucking New York
White
Times.
City. Sorry, Weisberger. It's like
Oh, right, okay,
Weiss-
sorry,
Weisberg.
sorry. Yeah, sure. Thought we're going back to the Lord of the Rings again or something. You're just stuck.
That's why I said it in that voice. White City.
You're stuck. We can't get away from it. Yeah, the book was like a big thing. It was a big deal when the book came out. It was 2003 it released. It was top of the New York Times bestseller list for 15 weeks or something ridiculous. It's a big book. So naturally, Hollywood made a movie. And that's about everything I have at the top. So let's...
Yeah. Okay, I just want to go back. Just sorry. Like, we could make it entire... Adrian Green, I'm just looking for his recent stuff. It gets a lot better than the last two things I said. He also did a movie called Christmas at Graceland, Home for the Holidays.
Like the Elvis's place?
I assume so, yes. Dope State.
Right. Okay. Sounds like a hard-hitting...
Sex, Death, and Bowling.
Okay.
And Trash Fire.
Sounds like an appropriate title for his career.
Really does, doesn't it? Sorry, I had to go back because I was like saying, why does he do that? Oh my god, these are terrible sounding things.
Sure.
Well, he still makes more than we'll ever do something.
Yeah,
never mind.
He's a handsome guy and we like him. While Dan continues reading the entire life and history of Adrian Grenier, let's move into what the hell is going on here.
What the hell is going on?
Right, so The Devil Wears Prada, in a nutshell, real quick, is about a young woman named Andy, and she wants to be a journalist, but she can't be a journalist because journalism is hard. So she takes a job as second assistant to Miranda Priestley, the head editor of made-up fashion magazine Runway. And that's kind of it. That's the plot.
You know, the funny thing is, like, I only realized that it was the made-up one called Runway near to the end of the movie, because beforehand I just automatically went, oh yeah, there's a Vogue.
Yes.
Like, my brain it's Vogue.
You just
Why
assume
is this being questioned?
I think you're supposed to, because Miranda Priestley is, I mean, it's never been outright fully stated, but she is basically supposed to be Anna Wintour, the chief editor of Vogue and Scary Lady Supreme, who I learned today is her nickname, right? I like this. This is a good nickname. I love a good nickname. Anna Wintour's nickname, they call her Nuclear Wintour.
That's pretty great.
That's good, isn't it? I like that.
You'd pay for that kind of nickname, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's a good nickname. I would make, if I were her, which I'm not, but if I were, I'm not Anna Wintour, okay? But if I were, I would make...
I'm sorry, but you're really making it feel like you might be.
Well, I'm not. I am not the chief editor of Vogue magazine since 1988. Okay, I'm not her. But if I was...
so much. You're really giving it the other feel.
But if I were, I would make people call me Nuclear. Just Nuclear Wintour.
All right, Nuclear.
Thanks. But I'm not Anna Wintour. Anyway, yes, so Miranda Priestley, Meryl Streep's character in this, is supposed to be heavily based on Anna Wintour because the Lauren Weisberger, who wrote the novel, so she, again, has said that it's all fictional, that she made it up, but right before she wrote the book, she worked as second assistant for Anna Wintour at Vogue, okay? So people are like, okay, fine, yeah, sure, it's made up, whatever. So
yeah,
she's
and
never.
I left the job once. I was in Paris. It was Fashion Week. But yeah,
it's made up. This isn't a Romana Clef. I've just made it all up, right?
And my boyfriend could be a villain or just a chef. I don't know. You know,
probably just a chef. Anyway, Fox made this, right? So this is a Fox picture, and they really, really, really wanted to make this. To the extent,
it's a mid-2000s Fox movie. It feels
Fox bought the rights to the book before the book was written.
Oh,
yeah, that's how much the chief executive or whoever the fuck at Fox, one of them, got an advanced half-written, half-finished copy of the novel, whereby there was 6 chapters and then just an outline for the rest of the book, and she went, I want this. This is it. This is happening. I'm making this, and bought the rights before the book even came out. And then they started. It was huge. They started writing the screenplay before the book was finished. They were just like, I want the rights to this, and then we're going to make our own thing. And their screenplay went through 5 or 6 different writers, and David Frankel was like, I don't want to do this, and then somebody convinced him, was like, no, maybe you should do this, and he was like, but I don't like it, and he's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it, but I want to change it. It's not supposed to be, I don't want it to be like a super chick flicky rom-com type thing. I want it to be more like a satire. And apparently some of the script was half based on Zoolander, and there were some other things thrown in. Initially they were like, well, yeah, when they were writing it, Zoolander was a lot of their inspiration. It was supposed to be like a satirical.
I like to imagine it's not in the same universe.
I mean, they they are, right?
Yeah.
Derek Zoolander exists in the same world as Miranda Priestley. That's the thing.
I hope
sure,
so.
It has to be.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine like watching like I know the second Zoolander movie was an atrocity to man, but could you imagine if she just took a role again and just walked in and says, "Derek"?
I'm really surprised they didn't at least try to make that happen at some point.
Yeah.
Or if they ever make a movie out of, wait for this, the 2 sequel novels to The Devil Wears Prada. 2 of them, Dan.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's the sequels?
There's 2 sequels to The Devil Wears Prada, the book. One came out in 2013. Do you want to know what it was called?
The
God Wears Vogue.
Makeup?
No.
Oh.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. I made that up, but it could have been.
It's actually a pretty good name.
Yeah, but I made it up. I'm not Anna Wintour. I made it up. So the sequel was called. Wait, I'm going to put my trailer voice on. Revenge Wears Prada. The Devil Returns.
Oh, it actually sounds like a terrible movie sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a straight to VHS sequel to The Devil Wears Prada, doesn't
it's
it?
like Aladdin has to fight them any moment now.
Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible name. Now, that's number 2, okay? So then a third novel was published in 2018. What do you think, based off of what I've just said, that was called?
The Son of the Devil.
Son of the Mask is actually the third sequel. It was called, and this is I can't get over this. The third novel is called When Life Gives You Lululemons.
See, why didn't I get that? You know, why didn't I guess that?
I mean, there's clearly a structure being followed here where all of the names have Prada and the devil in them, and the third one they were like, I don't know, whatever, let's throw Lululemons in there. What the fuck is what's Lululemon?
Is it a
character?
person?
A character from 30 Rock?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great because that's actually funny.
Is that what they're talking about? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a fashion thing or some sort of fucking thing that Lulu. Let us know in the comments because I can't be arsed Googling it. I'm hungover. What is Lululemon? Just tell us. That's all we want to know. If I get that much knowledge out of this, the whole thing will be worth it. What is Lululemon? Thank you very much. Answers on a postcard. Yeah, so those are the 3. So maybe if they make one of those, if they make Revenge Wears Prada, a sequel to The Devil Wears Prada, maybe Ben Stiller pops in, say hello as...
Would be pretty neat.
Maybe Owen Wilson pops in to say hello. He's in things now these days. Ben Stiller not so much, but Owen Wilson is in things. Maybe...
We love Owen Wilson here. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I like Owen Wilson. Maybe they get Will Ferrell to do Mugatu as a little cameo at some fashion show or something. That'd be fun, just as a little thing. Yeah? Right? We agree? We're on the same page?
We are.
Yeah. So there you go. I think that'd be cool. Right. So, yeah, 2006. This came out in 2006. And as you were saying, it's very 2006, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, and not in a bad way. It just made me feel like I time traveled back to a time where things were simpler for me. It literally felt like, it always felt like going to your grandparents' house where you haven't been for a while and sitting down. That's what it felt like. Because, like, you remember being a kid there. You know,
sure.
I don't know, maybe this is probably more of a personal experience, I think.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's not what I was talking about. I meant just in terms of, like...
Yeah, but that's the feel it evoked because I remember what life was like in 2006.
That's nice.
I like it
before
it was imminent climate disaster, and it was just climate disaster.
Yeah. Well, but it looks very 2006.
It does, like especially the beginning, the taxis driving around New York.
The music, the way it's edited and cut together, the way it's shot. Now, and it's a movie about
kiss the boyfriend goodbye quickly as you rush out the door, that kind of stuff.
And it's a movie about fashion, and all of the fashion in it is extremely 2006, 2007 era. Like people are walking around with like
roughly what fancy girls in Dublin would wear now. Yes.
I mean, it's all stuff that we look back on now. Like, if you see a picture of yourself from, like, 2010 out for a night out or something, I go, what the fuck do I have on? Why am I wearing flared jeans? And why is the collar of my shirt popped? What am I doing?
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff.
Shirts were, like, 80% collar.
Yeah, and that happens in this movie. Stanley Tucci wears a jumper that's, like, 96% collar. And also is, like, weirdly... dyed and stuff, but it's very well. Like, I'll put it. Okay, so what are other movies that released in 2006? You remember any off the top of your head?
X-Men movies.
I'm sure there was an X-Men.
Spider-Man.
There's always an X-Men, isn't there? But this
That's
is
it started, really, in a way, you know.
This is actually after. This is the Last Stand was 2005, so it's the year after, and it's before the MCU started. So
my entire dating system for what comes out is like, oh, Doctor Who came out the year before, like it came back to TV.
That's 2005.
Yeah.
Well, 2006 movies. The first Daniel Craig James Bond, Casino Royale, came out that year.
Oh, wow. That movie's older than I thought it was.
Yes,
cool.
yeah. He's been doing it for 15 years. He's been Bond now.
He is the quintessential James Bond, to be fair,
I
then.
think he's Bond. That's it. He's just Bond. And now he's finishing up with the next one.
Imagine,
anyway.
he is like, not even to a much younger generation than us, like, really. Just maybe even people our age. He is the Bond they always knew as Bond.
Yeah, pretty much. Other 2006 movies, 300.
Yeah.
Came out in 2006.
That's very 2000s movie.
Very, very late 2000s, mid 2000s. What else came out? Inside Man. Pretty okay movie.
Don't know what that is. Cool.
It's a Denzel Washington movie with Clive Owen. It's good. It's a good film. It's an action movie. It's a good film though. Idiocracy came out 2006.
I hate. No, you know what? The movie's fine. I just hate when people start coming out like, Idiocracy was a prophecy.
Idiocracy was documented.
Fuck off! You're actually more stupid than the people in that movie. Genuinely.
No, yeah, like as I'm looking at this, right? I'm going through like the stupid ones first. So the Da Vinci Code came out in 2006.
Yeah.
Pretty stupid movie. Not. Yeah. You know.
Used to love the book as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I read all of the Dan
same.
Brown.
I loved them.
I was mad about them. You know,
I thought it was like I'm enjoying, but I'm also learning the truth.
I thought they made me smart to read them. I was like, yeah, well, you guys don't know the real story of the Last Supper, and let me tell you about it.
Do you see that, like a V shape in the middle of the Last Supper portrait? You know what that means?
V for vagina. I think that's what it meant, right? 2006. Yeah, that's pretty much all it was. Other movies. Here's two that would be good for a Splitting Hairs episode, possibly. The Illusionist and The Prestige. Both
I actually have that
movies.
on the list. I think it might actually be one of the ones we're gonna do.
I think it was on our long list for Splitting Hairs.
Okay.
So we might probably do it eventually, but yeah, that's called the 2006. Just another quick, some good movies though. To be fair, Mel Gibson's Apocalypto came out in 2006. I quite like that.
Great
I
movie.
think it's a great movie. Whatever you think about Mel Gibson, he has lots.
I mean, he's a scumbag. Yes,
he did have a massive breakdown and went crazy. But great movie.
Yeah.
The Last King of Scotland, 2006, also a really good movie.
Yeah, very good movie.
Blood Diamond was 2006, also a really good movie.
Great movie that actually changed people's understanding of Blood Diamonds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good movie. Probably, in my opinion, what Leo should have won his Oscar for. I think he should have got it for Blood Diamond because he's great in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things he should have won the Oscar for before he actually won that.
True. The Pursuit of Happiness came out in 2006.
All right, I'm not the biggest fan of it. To be honest.
It's okay.
It's all right. It aged a bit.
The Departed came out in 2006.
Yeah.
Personal favorite of mine. I love it because Leonardo DiCaprio's main character guy is called. Well, he has the same name as me. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You all know what it is already. He's called Billy Costigan, and it's the only time I've ever heard my last name anywhere ever in the history of ever. So I liked it. It's also a really good movie. Anyway, also 2006, Children of Men, which
I love Children of Men.
It's a movie. A movie that like many people like would consider one of their favorites ever. Like people adore Children of Men. I think it's a good movie. I don't know if I'd put it up there as one of the best ever.
It's really depressing, but it's a really good movie, yeah.
So those are like, and Little Miss Sunshine was also 2006 and Once.
Never watched it. Did you know that? I never watched Little Miss Sunshine. That's been on the list for a while.
I haven't either. I have seen Once, and here's the pick of the pick, okay? The biggest of the 20.
The pick of the pick, is it?
The pick of the pick. Well, there's a couple more. Like I said, 2006 a big fucking year for movies, man. I really hope The Devil Wears Prada came out in 2006, and I haven't just been telling you the wrong year.
It is.
No, 2006, yeah. Imagine it was 2005, and I just okay, Dan, we're gonna have to redo this entire section. My apologies.
2018. What?
Whoops.
If that
Whoops. A couple of more. So, Babel. Which I think was Oscar nominated and many consider terrible. Click, Adam Sandler's Click, came out in 2006.
A lot of people consider it one of the better Adam Sandler movies.
A lot of should have been Oscar nominated. A lot of people would think. A Scanner Darkly, which I think you know. I think I don't know. Anyway, that came out.
Anyway, but what about the movie? Well, actually,
Wait, there's two more. Nacho Libre, and then one of your personal favorites, Night at the Museum. The first one, the Ben Stiller one, 2006.
Yeah. I don't have as much an aversion to Ben Stiller as most people seem to. I hate Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
Fuck Will Ferrell.
Yeah. So okay. So anyway, there's 2006 movies. You might guess in number one. Maybe I don't have a whole lot to say about The Devil Wears Prada, so I thought I'd take us on a detour through 2006. But let's get back to The Devil Wears Prada. So it is. So I mean, I don't know. Like, production for this movie obviously started like way back when, and when they went into production and they were trying to get like, they wanted to have a load of cameos and like guest appearances from people in the fashion industry and all this kind of stuff, and they couldn't get them. They could not get anybody. Nobody in the fashion industry would agree to be in the movie except like one or two. They couldn't get, like, designers were very, very reluctant to give them any like outfits and things like that, even though they spent like $1 million on like Prada and luxury outfits for the cast, for like costumes and stuff. But a lot of the companies were like, no, not really. Everybody in the fashion industry didn't want anything to do with the movie because they were afraid if they were seen to be involved in it, it would anger Anna Wintour, who Miranda Priestley's character is based on. Again,
very accurate then, isn't it?
Yeah, but except the crux of it then is afterwards, Anna Wintour apparently watched the movie and said, yeah, it was pretty good. She apparently quite liked it. Her biggest issue with it was that they got Miranda Priestley's office in the movie is so almost identical to Anna Wintour's real office that Anna Wintour watched the movie and then immediately redecorated her entire office. She was like, that's why they've gotten, apparently like the writer like knew some guy who worked in Vogue, and she snuck in one day and like looked at Anna Wintour's actual office and designed Miranda Priestley's is like exactly the same.
Okay, so why even deny it at this stage? Like, that is based on her.
No,
like...
I think the film is pretty openly like, yeah, it's supposed to be Anna Wintour. Like, that's who it is. Although Meryl Streep weirdly has said that she based Miranda Priestley's like calm persona thing on Clint Eastwood. But I mean, sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I think when I watched that.
I was literally just going, wow, she's just like Clint Eastwood. This is crazy.
Yeah, constantly just like, oh yeah, Jesus. Did he direct on this? Because this is exactly like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly like a Clint Eastwood movie. Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah, especially when she took out like the giant revolver and just aimed it.
Yeah, when she like shot when she shot all those people whilst like chewing and talking out the side of her mouth a little with her, that was crazy.
Pilgrim.
That was very it was weird, wasn't it? She called Anne Hathaway Pilgrim all the time, so it was very strange.
Look, so we both agree they should have had Clint Eastwood scene in there, and they should have had her at the very end of the movie. Like, the roads should have opened up to hell, and she drove right down into it.
Yes, yeah, I think 100% the allegory. Because who is the devil that's wearing Prada in this movie, Dan?
Like, you know, I mean, you guess it would be Meryl Streep's character. Like, that is the main goal. But I think it just... I mean, okay, so here's the thing, right? I don't think Andy did anything majorly wrong. She got into a new job, which was very stressful, very hard. Like, okay, she shouldn't have flirted with that guy, whatever, right? But outside of that, people start saying, oh my God, you're changing. And because our father's like, no, we just want you in a nicer job. That's more your thing. We don't hear from you anymore. Like, she's in New York, in one of the biggest places to work. Like, it's hard. And everyone's just like, oh, this is terrible for you. This is wrong. It's like, give her fucking some time. Like, this is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side of that, though, she's also is a bit of an asshole. Like, she does turn into she's a bit of a knobhead, like, at times.
When?
Well,
I want to ask when.
She stops talking to her friends. They never see her anymore. She doesn't go. She doesn't hang out with them anymore. And then she misses her boyfriend's birthday because she has to go to a work thing.
Yeah.
Okay. There are instances of it. My basic point.
I don't think they're glaring.
The basic point is they're all the devil in Prada. Everybody in this movie is a fucking shithead, to be honest. And that's the only like. Okay, we'll deal with Nate later, all right? But they're like, nobody. I think that the only way I can look at this movie and think, yeah, sure, there's something I can cling on to, is that the whole thing is supposed to be just like a takedown of more specifically the fashion industry, but secondly, like these sort of high-powered CEO, like massive company type positions.
Yeah,
I look at it that
and
way and
she
go,
had
yeah,
some.
sure, they're all assholes.
And yeah, like Miranda had like some shitty things when she wanted to be shitty, where she's like, get me like an early manuscript of Harry Potter, like, and like, you know, that was obviously a way of saying fuck you, I'm gonna fire you over this because you can't
that was
this.
definitely, I'm giving you an impossible task that you can not complete, and when you don't complete it, I have a reason to fire you because you won't have done something I told you to.
But outside that, I think she's just been like, first of all, she works for you know, a company that's very high level. Like she said, like the rest of the fashion world revolves around it. So I think outside that, she was probably just fairly normal for what that kind of person would be.
Yeah, there's nothing like there's a couple of lines in it, like when she refers to Anne Hathaway's character as the fat smart girl, like early on in the movie or something. There are some
very mid 2000s.
Yeah, there are little things in it. You're like, okay, that she's clearly not a nice person in business.
I love,
but none of them are.
I love that
except
when
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, when Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt were walking up and says, "Oh my God, you lost so much weight." She says, "Oh yeah, because I'm a diet." And like Emily Blunt saying, like, you know, I'm really thin down. And it's like, it's meant to be that Anne Hathaway is like the slightly chubbier girl, whereas Emily Blunt is like the super thin one. But really, you don't get that impression. At best, they're at the same weight.
I did. There is also on the trivia page in IMDb, one of the things is that apparently during filming, Anne Hathaway did actually slim down 2 dress sizes throughout the movie, on purpose. She started at the start of the movie, she's a size 6, and by the end of it, she's a size 4, and that was apparently done on purpose. I don't.
Well, they did mention it, like when she was talking with us. Oh, actually, I'm down to a size 4, and he goes, "Damn, nice for you."
Yeah, and she actually, Anne Hathaway apparently actually did it as for the role. She also volunteered at some fucking art gallery place to like get a feel for the character, you know, all those stupid things that actors do. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like they're all assholes really at the end of the day, aren't they? They're like, you know,
no, here's the thing, I don't even think they're all assholes. I think they're in a high pressured job and they act like people in those jobs. That's it. There's no one like mustache twirling thing, and like the only bad thing we get is that scene where it's that they wanted the Harry Potter thing, and even then I think that's more pettiness than outright cruelty. That's just her really wants to have seen her kids, and it was unfair, it wasn't sound, but like, yeah, I mean, it'd be different. It was like, oh, I made you lose your house because you couldn't pay your rent or something like that. There was no like evilness in the movie. I think there was just maybe a little bit of shittiness.
Like a lot of it is told. A lot of like Miranda Priestley's kind of like, oh, she's a villain stuff comes from other people who are. It's just that everyone is so afraid of her that like nobody. You do everything exactly as she wants it done. Like you don't speak to her. You don't.
And
talk
she
back.
expects that. To be fair,
you don't ask her questions. She's the boss, and if she tells you to do something, you do it.
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
Yeah,
like there's the one scene, and the scene that everybody brings up that people will call the big scene in the movie is her big speech, the cerulean speech, they call it, that she gives to Anne Hathaway's character kind of early on in the movie, who remarks that, well, those 2 belts are exactly the same. She's right, they are exactly the same. They're the same fucking belt. They're the exact same fucking belt. They have a slightly different bump.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but that's not the point I'm trying to make anyway. This is the big speech that everybody kind of like comes back to for this movie, and it was written at Meryl Streep's request. Apparently, she thought that there wasn't enough in the movie of the
proof that
of Miranda Priestley being like this mean kind of like horrible character, but also at the same time, there's a reason why she's this person. There's a reason why she's in charge, kind of thing. So she had she asked the writer to like put in this speech, and it was written like during filming, last minute. And I mean, the writer wrote it in a Starbucks across the road. But
see, there's a scene that in that scene as well. They said, "Oh, where are the bells?" Says, "Oh, yeah, I get them." And you can hear Meryl Streep's character go, "Oh, why is nobody ready?" And the thing is, right? Yeah, like if I was working with her, I'd be pretty fucking pissed off. Like, Jesus Christ, you can't fuck that. But she's also, these people are highly paid. They're at the top of the industry, and this is argue the person who knows more about fashion than anyone else. She has high expectations because the magazine is of high standard and quality, and you should be like ready to go. I'm very much more of a hey, let's chill and relax, and we'll get there when we'll get there. But I understand the hunt for perfection, especially for someone in that industry.
Yeah, it wouldn't suit me.
No, I wouldn't. I'd hate it. I'd have a nervous breakdown and probably jump off the nearest skyscraper.
Yeah, well,
but I understand it.
I'd 100% be like, if my boss was that fucking anal about stuff being done particularly and was that like micromanaging everything, I'd just be like, nah.
I get that. But I'm
not putting up with
there
this shit.
for that reason. She got there because she's like that.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I think it's I personally think it's nonsense, but I know what you're saying.
It's nonsense as any passion and motivation is, to be fair. Like any other motivation is fairly nonsense as well, I think, especially in like non-essential things in life.
Such as fashion?
Yeah.
But you didn't listen to her speech, Dan.
I actually quite like the speech and actually agree with her. I actually understand that's how design works. But yeah, at the same time, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, interesting, but like, still look the same.
They're still the same belt.
Yeah. I mean, she is right? So, people always have this big thing that, oh, I hate watching catwalk stuff because no one wears those clothes. Like, yeah, that's not the point. Like, you take elements of those and that trickles down into current fashion. That's actually how it works. That's why we have runway shows. It's not like they're expecting you to wear weird lederhosen with a plastic jacket over it, but elements of that will come into the...
unless you're Jared Leto.
Well, yeah, Jared Leto, like he probably demands more, to be fair.
I'm just that meme of him at I'm sure you've seen it. It's a picture of Jared Leto. He's at like some high-end fashion like runway show thing. And there's a guy, a model walks past wearing this like green like button long jacket thing, and it's just a still of Jared Leto looking at the jacket, and his face is just like, oh my god, I love it. And then the image next to it is him wearing the same jacket, like just walking down the street.
Like, I get it though, because like I like you know this, like I like wearing very loud clothing when I have the opportunity, like shirts wise and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I understand the expression of like art as much as it's in design, like with my own work, like graphic design, like there is a language and there's an importance, that kind of stuff, which is, look, outside of necessity, it's obviously within necessity, it's not that needed, but as a cultural thing, it's legitimate.
Yeah, no, like I've always thought of that kind of high end, like super high, like brand fashion runway type stuff as art. To be honest, it's an art installation. It's not like I'm looking at a man wearing half a plastic umbrella wrapped in tinfoil and going, yeah, I'll wear that to work the next day. Yeah, that's perfect. Stick that in pennies and I'll buy it. Like, that's not what it is. I'm not supposed to go, who's going to wear that? Like, obviously, nobody's going to wear it on a day-to-day basis.
But elements of it will trickle down, and that's true.
In 2 years' time, there will probably be some sort of plastic jacket in pennies.
Or there'll be an umbrella that has, like, a silver stripe down it, or something like that. You know, it just bubbled down.
Yeah, so I guess what we're saying is, Miranda Priestley was right all along. And the real...
she was good at the end. She did say... She gave her.
She gave her.
She's the biggest disappointment, and if you don't hire you, it'll be the biggest mistake you'll ever make. I actually kind of like that. Go on.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. Anyway, that's about whatever is going on in the movie. I think
we talk about everything really, but the movie.
The movie. But we covered a bit of the
movie.
Look,
I mean, here's the thing, right? I think we both said this movie wasn't made for us in mind. It's not for our demographic. Which is, I don't know, geeky or old school movies, more aimed towards, let's just say it's not made for cis-het men. I think it's not for us in mind.
We certainly weren't the target demographic when the book or the movie was being written. They didn't think, you know what?
That 16-year-old lad in Ireland there, love it.
Two like early 30s, late 20s Irish fellas gonna fucking love this. They're gonna adore this movie.
Actually, Meryl Streep said it'll trickle down to them eventually, and that's how
And it did.
movies are made.
And here we are.
Yeah.
We're right
Yeah.
here. Look at us. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do some Jesus moments, shall we?
Okay.
Now, it's time to address the Nate situation.
Yeah.
TV's Aquaman plays Nate, Anne Hathaway's and Andy Sachs character, her boyfriend, who is a chef, and clearly
And has no drug problems for some reason.
I said he's a chef, Dan. Okay.
Yeah, it's not showing any drug issues.
I think that covers it. Like, he's a chef, all right.
Yeah.
But he's in this movie, okay. And my Jesus moment is that I was quite surprised. I think, well, not quite surprised. I wasn't really like shocked or anything, but this was a thing, and I was massively outraged when I went on to look at like reviews and stuff for The Devil Wears Prada, and an awful lot of them were referring to the fact or expressing the opinion that Nate is the villain of the movie.
Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. When we were watching it, I was just checking the cast out quickly, and I just checked what they thought, like Nate, and the Google search came up as Nate, the main villain. And this was like a quarter way into the movie. I went, oh my God, I got to pay attention now, see what happens, like what's going on. I didn't realize this. Yeah.
Like, I don't...
I mean, it could be sounder at times, but...
Here's the thing, right? He's supportive. He's like, cool, you've got a job, and he expresses some doubt by saying like, well, I thought you want to be a journalist. Like, why are you taking this? You don't even care about fashion. Like, this doesn't, but then she's like, oh, no, I'll do it for a year. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, do it. And then, follow your dreams or whatever. He supports her. She supports him. They're in a happy relationship. Then
cheese sandwiches.
He eats fancy cheese sandwiches, fancy toasted cheese, grilled cheese, whatever the fuck, I don't know. And then, the movie progresses, and Andy gets more and more involved in her job and starts like dressing and getting into fashion and like working long hours and never sees him anymore and misses his birthday and stuff. And he says, "You've changed. I don't see you anymore. You're not the person I got involved with. Like, I don't recognize you," kind of thing. And then Andy says, "Well, maybe we'll just fucking end it then. We'll just take a break." And she breaks it off with him. And he says, "Okay, cool," and they leave. And somewhere along the lines, people decided that Nate should have been like just 150% like, yeah, you go, Andy, go do these things and chase this dream that you apparently now have that came out of nowhere, and spend all your time on it and never see me or your friends or anything. Like, I get it. He could be more supportive towards the end, but he also has a right to be like, well, I never see you anymore. You're my girlfriend and I love you and I haven't seen you in 2 months and you missed my birthday. Yeah. Kind of thing.
I mean, he is just making a point of what's going on in the relationship. And I mean, if it's two grown adults, you have to talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's expressed how he feels, and then if
I don't think he's necessarily right either. But talk about it. Like, this is what
that's the
you
thing.
are.
Andy could just say, "Oh, well, no, actually, I really like this job, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm really into it, and the hours are long, but I want to make it work." And then at that point, if she says that, and then he says, "No, fuck you, I want you to quit this job and stay with me forever,"
that'd be an issue.
Okay, there's an issue. Then he's a villain.
Yeah,
but if
he goes like, okay, well, if that hypothetical thing came and said, if that's the case, I think maybe we should break up because this is not the kind of relationship I want. That'd be fine.
That's fine too. And
adult.
But she breaks up with him.
Yeah.
She's the one. She says, "Okay, well, she's like, we should take a break then because you can't do whatever." Now she goes back to him in the end, and they move to Boston or whatever the fuck. I don't know, but well, he moves to Boston. I don't know. Whatever. He gets a job in some restaurant in Boston, and she gets a job in some weird little
in a newspaper company that hasn't existed for 120 years.
yeah, that's the one.
That's gonna be an interesting sequel. There, she works for Ghost newspaper.
Yeah, she works with ghosts.
Oh, you thought the devil was bad?
Well, wait till you see Revenge of the Ghosts that wear Louis Vuitton. That's what I'm calling the sequel. Yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of my jazz moment. I'm not with it. I don't think he's a villain. It's back to earlier.
I think
like
we could all spoke more as adults and sort of things out.
communication is key, Dan.
Say the both of us who have been very single for a long time.
Listen, that's besides the point, all right? I watch a lot of Love Island, and they say communication.
Oh,
is
I'm
key.
sure Love Island is a great way to learn how romance works.
Why else is it on the TV, Dan? It's called Love Island. What else am I supposed to be watching it for?
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. There's my 2 cents on the Nate issue. Sorry, Devil Wears Prada fandom.
Oh, you stirred up the fandom.
Fuck.
My one, I suppose. I think it's more of an Jesus moment towards myself, saying that's weird that I have that psychology. It's when Miranda goes to Andy saying, "Hey, you're going to Fashion Week instead of Emily."
They cancelled Emily in Paris. Boom, 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 boom. I did it, Dan. I told you I was going to make the joke, and I did it. Sorry to cut you
And
off.
I absolutely get it.
Sorry to cut you off. There's a joke for
yeah.
any Emily in Paris fans. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. Yeah, so no, she has to tell like Emily that she can't go, and Egan's saying, "Look, I have to tell you something when you get back to the office." Okay, what's going on? Blah. And she's distracted. Emily is, and she crosses the road, and a car hits her. And my instant reaction, oh, thank God she doesn't have to tell her now because she's dead. That'd be such a relief.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we both shared this opinion when it happened. We were all like, "Oh well, that saves her the hassle now. She doesn't have to have that awkward conversation about it.
Yeah,
she's dead."
I would rather someone die than have an awkward conversation with them.
Yeah. Now, I will say as well, just to add to piggyback off that a little bit, the actual her getting hit by a car is quite like. Have you ever seen Meet Joe Black?
Yeah.
You know when when he gets hit by the car at the start of it.
Yeah.
It's so fucking like, holy, what the hell just happened? It's real.
The person should be putting like.
Oh, it's proper like impact, like slams into the car and just like fucking everything goes flying. It's not quite on the level of Meet Joe Black where you can actually see his fucking body flinging through the air and landing on the pavement and stuff. But it's very like, what the hell? Where did that come from? It's so weird.
So I think it wasn't so much the movie's fault, but more my Jesus moment.
Maybe we're all
Jesus.
bad people.
Yeah, that kind of evil there. Fair enough.
And that's Emily Blunt's character who is playing in this a character called Emily who's quite blunt.
But she has a little heart where she just wants to really do well in this industry.
Yeah, of course she does. Yeah, sure. Apparently Emily Blunt got this role because she auditioned in a car park. There you go. She was auditioning. She had a bunch of callbacks for, wait for the movie she was going to do, she was trying to get into, Aragon.
Wow, that's definitely like that's like a dragon break from Skyrim where like time broke off into a different way completely there.
Yeah, she was trying to play, I'm assuming she was auditioning for the role of Arya in the Elven Princess in Aragon. I've seen Aragon a lot. All right, I've read all the books. Don't fucking.
You don't even like the movie that much, do you?
No, it's just one of those like comfort movies for me. I think when I was younger, I just used to stick on Aragon and just be like, yeah, this has got something. I've talked about this before, so let's not do it again. Yeah, she was auditioning for that, and then she didn't get it, and she was like in the car park outside Fox the Studios or something, and somebody working on The Devil Wears Prada saw her and was like, hey, why don't you come do an audition tape for this? And she did her audition tape like in the car park wearing like flip flops.
You look like a snooty bitch.
She was wearing like flip flops and a vest or something in her audition tape. And then she flew back to England, and they called her after she got home and was like, "Oh yeah, can you come back and do another audition? Only this time, could you like wear clothes and stuff, dress like the character?" And she was like, "Yeah, cool." And this was her first.
Weird. But I also get that she's English.
Yeah, this was her Hollywood break, and it says, now I don't believe a word of this. It says on the trivia page that Emily Blunt decided that her character should have an English accent because it made her seem more snooty or whatever. I don't think she decided to give her character an English accent like for any real reason. It was just probably like, yeah, I don't really feel comfortable doing changing my own accent. I'm just going to speak normally, and you guys, I'm going to come up with a reason why. Okay, because she's English.
She wasn't up to doing a very vague American Benedict Cumberbatch New York accent.
If only she could have kept that opinion on doing other people's accents 4 other movies, huh? Well, I'm
yeah.
referencing Wild Mountain Thyme.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. To be fair, she did a better accent than him, which is weird.
In places, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 1 or 2 sentences, but anyway, yeah.
Like
Okay.
I said, I think she got the energy right more than he did. That's all I say.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen to our review of
Check it
Irish
out.
Time.
You'll see a link below for our full episode on Wild Mountain Thyme. There you go, guys.
Oh
Thank
man,
you very
I
much.
said Irish Time again. Oh, for fuck's
Yeah, it's
sake.
fine. Whatever it's called. There you go. There's our Jesus moments. Let's give this thing some final thoughts. Let's wrap it up.
Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of said it really already, didn't we? It's not really made for us. This movie.
No.
Like, I think it's fine. I don't hate the movie or anything. It's not like I looked at it and went, "This is awful." It's not a bad movie. Like, there's some good bits in it. Meryl Streep is doing her Streepy stuff. You know, it's
Yeah, but
like,
we were saying again, like Meryl Streep is great. Okay, we all know that, right? But this movie doesn't really show much of that.
no, I mean, there's a lot. Like, from reading about it, like Meryl Streep she put a lot of work into like building the character of Miranda Priestley in terms of like she really put thought into choosing like her hairstyle and how she talks and the way she moves and all this kind of shit. And the movie apparently only got like completely greenlit once Meryl Streep agreed to do it. Like she signed on and they were like, okay, we can make this thing now because Meryl Streep is going to play, and she had to like.
I think she was the best one for the role, to be fair.
Oh yeah, easily. Like, she's good in it. She's Meryl Streep. She's good in everything.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to do it badly or anything. But there's not a lot there's no big scene that I don't think for her to work with. Massively.
That's the only one I can think of is she's upset about her husband.
Yeah, and that's quite good, to be fair, because it's quite subdued acting in that scene. I think it's a quiet
it's actually
moment. It's
really well done because they also like have almost no makeup on her, and she's like in normal clothes, so she's just like stripped down in that scene, which is pretty good. Not like literally stripped down.
Yeah, so and there's some good things in this movie. You know, like Anne Hathaway's a good actress, Emily Blunt's a good actress, like Stanley Tucci's a good actor. There's some good stuff.
You know, Adrian Grenier is there.
Adrian Grenier is a good act. He's Aquaman.
He's there. You know, I'm waiting for Turtle to show up any moment. And hey, man, we're going to Florida. Blah.
Yeah, that's definitely what happens. Turtle and his like impotent, angry brother just turn up.
Yeah.
Well, if my girlfriend's gonna leave me to be a fashionista, I'm gonna become an actor. I think
that's what they did during their break.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, he did that whole thing. It was a terrible, terrible thing, and he returned and said, "Hey, I got a job in Boston. I definitely didn't lose everything and work in McDonald's now."
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, so I don't know. There's some good things in it. It's really not a bad movie. Honestly, it's not at all. It's just not like there's just not a lot in it for me in terms of like just what it's about. Like there's a lot of like fashion references and stuff like that just flew over my head. I was just like, I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about.
Look,
now to be fair,
it's a decent hangover. You're at your friends lying down on the sofa.
It's fine. Like, it's one of those that like maybe I'll catch some flack for saying it, but if you're with your girlfriend or your partner or somebody and they say, "Hey, let's watch The Devil Wears Prada," yeah, sure, it's fine. Put it on.
Yeah,
you don't have to be. You don't have to be like, "Oh, watch this stupid movie." Like, it's grand. John Krasinski, Emily Blunt's husband, claims he has seen it 75 times.
I mean, he needs help.
I know,
but you know,
he really does. If he's seen it that many times. But yeah, it's not bad. It's fine. Yeah, it's overall, it's a good movie. Just not really for me or Dan, I think.
Yeah, Yeah, look, I have nothing bad to say about the movie, really. It's a movie. It's nice, middle-of-the-road movie that's enjoyable for most people watching it, unless you have a weird, like, misogynistic ego, where it's like, no, I don't want to watch a girl movie.
Yeah, I agree with you. Unless you're one of those fucking freaks. Like, I can't watch that. Yeah. It's about women and
oh no, I watched a girl movie. Now my testicles fell off. What am I ever going to do?
But there is that scene we talked about earlier where Meryl Streep smokes a cigar and shoots a bunch of people dressed as a cowboy. So
and then she drives into hell.
Yeah, so you have that. At least that's there for you, you weirdo. You fucking
Yeah.
toxically. Anyway, yeah, there's The Devil Wears Prada. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad I've watched it now because I've been meaning to for quite some time. What are we doing
same.
next week?
We are doing something that I feel I want to apologize in beforehand because we're watching Oprah's Wrinkle in Time.
I'm not.
I wanted us to watch a movie that we would most likely absolutely hate. Because we choose movies a lot of times because we like them, or because we should watch this. But I feel like we saw that and the aftermath, and I'm like, that would be interesting to review.
I'm not ready yet to accept your apology.
No, I understand.
I might.
I'm not either.
I will decide after we've seen A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I won't like it. I saw the trailer when it came out, and immediately my brain went, "I hate this. This looks awful."
I like the old Wrinkle in Time movies. There were some good ones out there.
I haven't seen those, so I have nothing to base this on. My only
it's
opinion,
a nice fantasy.
The only thing I know about it is that it looks like the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movies, and I hate them. So
yeah, and the biggest fan of Oprah as well.
I don't like Oprah either. So we're in for a fucking great time, aren't we?
Yeah, we sure are.
That's next week, guys. A Wrinkle in Time. And this week was The Devil Wears Prada. As always, we appreciate your comments and likes and shares and subs and all those groovy things. So keep them coming in.
Please comment on our social media posts, folks, because it helps us algorithm-wise as well.
And if you...
we have some friends, and it's sound for you to like our posts shared onto our own private pages. But if you really want to help us, go to the actual post and like it there.
Yeah, and if you do it, eventually we might stop begging you to do it at the end of every podcast.
Yeah, but until then,
then,
if we get 20 likes on a post, we'll stop asking, okay?
Yeah, pull your fucking fingers out of your asses and use them to type and write on our fucking wall or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's enough of me berating.
Love you long time. Bye-bye.
Berating our fan base. We'll see you Friday for the news.
Asherlow. It's a big rent.